Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Unscripted and Unchained RPG Review. I am Game Master Bloodworth, and as you can see by the graphics, today's video I'm going to be talking about Fallout RPG's Wanderer's Guidebook. So I just got this in the mail today, and wanted to talk about it, do a little bit of a preview of it, and I've been remiss in when talking about the other videos of Fallout RPG in mentioning that this is a joint venture of both Modiphius and Bethesda. So really, really important to make that connection that you have a AAA game publisher, one of the largest and most successful, tied to I would call it a AAA tabletop role-playing game publisher as well, because Modiphius is right up there with Free League in producing some really top-notch tabletop role-playing games, and top-notch from game design to art to the materials, the actual physical materials of their books as well, and other accessories, and really just putting together the full court press of their IP usage. And so when you see a game company like Modiphius teaming up with Bethesda, you know that you're going to get tabletop role-playing games, you're going to get video games, you're going to get skirmish war games, you're going to get board games, you're going to get card games, you're going to get streaming TV series that are some of the best, out there as well. So it is really amazing to see these two companies coming together, and really, really happy that I backed this and started purchasing this this game system. So really, really looking forward to running it. I've been working, pretty hard on creating a setting for my eventual campaign, and this was a resource that I wanted to use for that purpose as well. And I'm just going to go over some of the table of contents of this so you can see what this actually brings to the table. So without further ado, let's shift over, and I am looking at, I don't know what I'm looking at here. let's instead go to, I know what I'm looking at now, when I was looking for the image for the thumbnail. All right, so now, and let's close this. So now we should be looking at the PDF. Sorry about that. So here we go. So here is the PDF, and I'm just going to go over the table of contents and let you see why I really felt that this was necessary to pick up. So the lead designer of this is Jackie Lung and Nathan Dowdell, I guess that's how you pronounce it. And some of the others thrown in here. Graphic design, they have great graphic design. Their art direction, and their cover artist. It's an artist I'm not familiar with. So Aitor Manas. Interior art is a whole slew of people as well. Pretty sure I've seen Carlos Cabrera before. But anyway, so here we go. So the contents of this. So wandering in the wasteland, so a radioactive landscape where life is a struggle. And so this is going to be the introductory section. So it's going to explain kind of things that are going on. Wanderer characters. So you have origins and choose equipment. It should be introducing some new origins, which it is doing, right? So here are some new origins. I'm waiting for the PDF to get caught up so I can scroll. So with this purchase, wow, it's very choppy. With this purchase, you get some new origins. And let's see if we can slow the choppiness down. So 10 new origins. The Brotherhood of Outcast, Child of Adam. Yeah, that certainly cleaned it up, not having it so enlarged. The Nightkin. Now, pretty brutal looking. Let's see what else we have. We have Tribal. It's very, very slow. Maybe I don't have it fully downloaded, so that might be something I do a little bit later on. Then your equipment, so Assaultron equipment and whatnot. So each new background has some background specific equipment. That's pretty cool. Then we will get to scavenging. So using scavenging locations. And then there are several locations right from the video game. So from Fallout 4, you have the Red Rocket, Super Mutant Camp, a warehouse. That's a generic warehouse. The Poseidon Energy plant, which is definitely there. Abandoned vaults, so you have various abandoned vaults throughout the area as well, and so it gives you the luck and the levels necessary in order to salvage these places. And what you will find, it appears that they give you a level for your chances of salvaging various places, and then there are very specific loot drops that you would find in said place as well. The Super Mutant Camp, level 10, so it's still a simple warehouse is 15. So they do start giving them some scales to the complexity. I guess level 8 is Poseidon Energy Plant. Nested areas and such. Then there's loot drops for, each of these locations, and abandoned vaults. So you can spring upon your players. They can come upon an abandoned vault, and then kind of investigate that and do a scavenger hunt through those as well. I'm sorry about the sporadic scrolling. Let's see when we get to a new. So there are new perks that come with this guidebook. You have Blocker and Gladiator and Bullet Shield and Incisor. Lock and Load, Martial Arts, Pack Rat, Scattershot, Sturdy Frame, Archer, Bow Before Me, Butcher's Bounty, a Crack Shot, a Glow Sight, Night Eyes, Fire in the Hole, Cannibal. Pretty interesting perk that you can have, and an endurance perk on top of that. Dromedary, Fireproof Ghoulish, Cola Nut, Ironclad, Relevant. So just tons and tons of new perks. And again, it uses this tab system that you see up here on top now. So the introduction character is scavenging new perks, then equipment, and then a bestiary. So this really does give you a lot of additional content. I'm not going to go through all of the equipment and everything, But this does give you a lot of additional content that comes along with it. We'll go back to the beginning again. And like I said, it's scrolling so slow. It's like it only goes faster. Let's take a look at the bestiary really quick. So here you get to modify creatures and create creatures. And we'll get to some pictures. So here I have like a scorpion type creature, an angler. That's a pretty nasty looking thing. Cave crickets. A cazador. Let's see what this thing looks like. Oh, that looks pretty nasty. Especially if it's huge, I'll have to see. The Deathclaw Matriarch, which if you haven't seen the mini for this thing, the mini for this thing looks phenomenal. And it's only like 33 bucks. I might actually pick this thing up because it looks absolutely phenomenal. And if it is a painted mini, 33 bucks, it's a steal. That thing's pretty creepy looking too. Gator Claw. So a bipedal gator. A gecko. A giant ant. A giant mantis. I'm surprised that some of these weren't already in. Gulpers, which was in the streaming show. They spoke about gulpers, and now you see one. Hermit crab. Oh, they show it. Oh, it's wearing a bus as a shell. That's pretty cool looking. A honey beast. So it's like a honey bee with all kinds of stuff. Looks like growing out of it. This is a rad rat. Glowing plagued rad rat. A scorch beast. That looks pretty cool too. Wow, look how big it is compared to it's carrying a human. Other cryptids. A megasloth. That looks pretty cool. Mothman. A sheep squatch. I want to see what it looks like. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, they had some really cool looking stuff here. So as you can see, I mean, this thing is jam packed with so much additional content that you can just pump right into your campaign. It is a total of at least 223 pages. It is actually 226 pages of content, so highly recommend picking it up if you already have Fallout. Now this one says Guidebook 2, so now I'm really curious to see what Guidebook 1 was. I might have to pick that up as well. I probably will end up picking that up as well because this is a tabletop role-playing game that I want to spend quite some time with, both creating for it, writing some adventures for it, and running it at conventions. So I'm really looking forward to dedicating a lot more time to this game system going forward. As I face some of the other older game systems that I've been playing around with at conventions, I'm looking for 2025, not immediately in January with the Philadelphia Game Expo, but with the next big one that I'll go to is probably Rising Phoenix in Massachusetts in April. And there you'll very likely see me running Fallout RPG at that convention space. So really looking forward to it, and just another added collection to my Modiphius collection, which are all so far I have not I have not been disappointed with any of the Fallout games that I have purchased myself. The only one that I was kind of a little bit disappointed with was the Star Trek. And I'll be curious to see what they do with the Star Trek Second Edition, which I believe they're working on. So hopefully they make that a little bit more open world than the original, and that might have some added playability to it. But otherwise, I've been really happy with everything that like I said, I've picked up from Modiphius so far. So looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, remember to like and subscribe and to share and to leave your comments in the comments section. If you know which is the guidebook #1, please feel free to leave that in there so I can take a look at it and see if that's something I will most likely try to pick up anyway. And for the next couple of days, I am working in Manhattan, so I have basically 12-hour days. That is, leaving my home at 7 a.m. and getting home around 7 p.m. So it's 12-hour days. So my amount of videoing is going to be a lot less this week. You are going to see more of those, more of those off-script roadways. I did 2 of them actually today. I did one from my car when I first got there, and then one out in the street. So out on Broadway Avenue in New York City. I have another place I'm going to tomorrow for lunch, so I will probably bring my cell phone out there and record that little walk I'll have there. And then and now tomorrow night is my Castles and Crusades night. I know my players are really anxious to get back to playing. It's been a 2-week layoff from my vacation time to the week that I was sick. So I'm hoping to get right back into that campaign starting tomorrow. And then, excuse me, that yawn just came out of nowhere. And then later on in the week, Friday I'm off again. It's a holiday weekend, so I am not working for the next 4 days thereafter. I will have my Shadow Dark Saturday evening game, which I will be recording to show off some kind of an actual play, and with a focus on role playing. My players this past Saturday did a phenomenal job. I was really happy with them, and now I'm not saying that we're going to record and do every single session that we get to, but I did want to put it out there so that people can see, both the way that I run a table and give me some tips on how I can improve that as well. And then my players and they would probably welcome some feedback as well. Anything that's overly negative, I'm going to remove, because none of us are putting ourselves out there for things that are just going to be mean-spirited and negative. So I'm hoping for a lot of constructive suggestions as to how we can do certain things better, and and still maintain having fun at the table, because that's really what it's all about. I don't care what others say. It's like, oh, if you say that you're just looking to have fun at the table and that's negative, that's not what you should be looking to do. I mean, that's just BS. We do this to play and to have fun and to have some escapism, and you can do all of those things, and still, bottom line is, if you're not having fun with what you're doing, you're not going to do it anymore. So it just never struck me as being a thing that made any kind of sense. When you say, oh, well, if your goal is to have fun, then your goal is flawed in some way. That's just, to me, stupid. But anyway, thanks for joining. I hope you liked this video, and you all have a great rest of your day, and take care.